So, another bike day. This one, however, is a little different. Since gravel bikes seem to be a pretty popular trend, I decided to try it out. And this one is the Marin Gestalt XR. I'll be calling it the XR for short, which I'm told stands for extra rad. And I don't really have a segue for that, so let's go. My initial impressions of this bike is that it's got a lot of SRAM components, which of course there isn't anything wrong with that. I just never had a bike that had primarily SRAM stuff, but they make good things, so I feel good about it. One of the reasons I chose this bike over others is because I wanted a bike that I could buy and don't need to do any upgrades on. The way I feel about upgrades are they can be good, they can be fun, but I don't always feel like you should feel the need to upgrade right off the bat. In many cases, you save more money by buying a bike built as close to the way you want it. That being said, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just don't feel like everything needs to be upgraded to have fun. The XR comes with a Trans X dropper post. And for anyone who's watched me before, a dropper post is pretty much my bare minimum for a ton of reasons. It's easier to get on the bike for the most part, it makes going downhill more fun. Also equipped are SRAM Apex brakes, both front and rear with 160mm rotors. The tires are V-Tire Rocketman. Now, these wouldn't be my first choice for tires, but they felt fine to start. Most people have a preference for tires, and the odds that any company knows what you want out of the gate is unlikely, so I think this is fine. The drivetrain is also a SRAM Apex, rear derailleur and crankset, along with a 12-speed cassette, a 10 to 52 tooth range, and you might notice that I decided to go with flats. Now, some people do use clipless for gravel bikes, but I don't own any, so I don't own the clipless shoes. Honestly, bikes can be expensive. I don't see the point for buying a specific pair of shoes for a specific bike, and I don't have any issues with these Sams, so that's what I'm going with. Aside from those, everything else that came on the bike is pretty standard house branded components, like the seat, the bars, the tape, so I'm just gonna jump to talking about the bike. For starters, I do like the way this bike looks. It's subtle, but the highlighted areas look dope. Even with flats, I found this bike to be fairly light, probably due to the carbon fork. The placement of the shifter and dropper levelers are kind of new to me, so are the horns actually, so there's going to be some getting used to. But overall, I think this bike is pretty awesome. They call gravel bikes adventure bikes from time to time, and I can almost see why. This is a gravel bike, and the bike felt just as capable on paved roads as unpaved roads. Honestly, I can see why people are choosing gravel bikes. Sure, mountain biking are fun, but some people have to commute to areas where mountain biking reigns king. A gravel bike feels like it can be used in almost any terrain. If I had to nitpick something about the bike, honestly, I'd have a hard time finding something to fault it. Like I said, I wanted something that wouldn't need an upgrade off the bat, and to me, this checks most of my needs. But if you must know something, sometimes adjusting a 12-speed can be a bit tricky, but that can happen on any bike, so I don't really fault this bike for doing it. My initial impressions is that this bike is dope. I would like to thank everyone for watching. Have a great day, and maybe I'll try to find an honest to goodness mountain biking trail to ride this bike if I'm feeling lucky.